Sad bangers, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That one song you blast in your headphones while you're walking home at night pretending you're in a movie. That kind of track that makes you want to cry, dance, and text your ex all at once, regrettably. Sad bangers are undefeated, the genre and style of our generation, the sound of this era, and probably the most honest reflection of how we actually feel in this mess of a world. I categorize a sad banger as a song that hits you in the chest with some raw, emotional lyrics, but it's wrapped up in production so fire, you could play it in a club. It's the musical equivalent of laughing through the pain, crying in the club, smiling through heartbreak. And the truth is, we've never needed that kind of duality more than we do now. Because think about it, this generation grew up watching the world glitch in real time, recession, social media anxiety, climate collapse, the pressure to be everything everywhere all at once. Music became our therapy, but not in the obvious way. We didn't want sappy ballads or overproduced inspirational anthems. We wanted something that sounded like fun, but felt like pain. Something that let us scream our sadness while still looking good doing it. That's where sad bangers come in, and it's the perfect flagship style for a generation that grew up on the internet. It's been brewing for years and has seemed to really explode in the last decade. The modern standard for this style of music is undoubtedly Robyn's Dancing on My Own. That's the blueprint. That's not just a sad banger, that's the sad banger. It's a song about watching the person you love be with someone else, and yet you can't help but dance to it. It's emotional devastation with a side of sense. And when that chorus hits, you're not just sad, you're euphoric about being sad. And that's exactly the point. Fast forward a few years later, and we get to Lord's Green Light. Green Light is literally about heartbreak, betrayal, and moving on, but it feels like a celebration, and like a direct descendant of Robyn. Lord basically said, I'm emotionally wrecked, but I'm gonna process it with choreography and neon lights. And we all said, same. That's the power of the sad banger. It doesn't draw you in emotion, it gives you a lifeboat. It doesn't ask you to wallow, it lets you dance through it. The Weeknd basically built an empire off of sad bangers. Blinding Lights, In the Night, Save Your Tears. The man's been crying in falsetto over club beats for a decade. The production is always glossy, retro, and immaculate, but the lyrics, it's all pain, it's all confusion, it's all regret, and it's all self-deprecation. The kind that hits you at 2 a.m. when you're scrolling through your camera roll like it's an archive of mistakes, and yet, that beat slaps. And we also can't forget about Drake either, the king of crying in the VIP section. From Marvin's Room to Take Care to Passion Fruit to In My Feelings, this man gave a whole generation permission to be in their feelings, but made it sexy. He made it okay to mourn a relationship while you're still wearing expensive cologne and holding a champagne glass. And then there's the rise of the hyperpop and alternative pop meets heartbreak era. Artists like Charlie XCX, Rina Sawayama, and Troye Sivan, who make tracks that are emotionally crushing and sonically chaotic at times. It's often beautiful chaos. These songs feel like your heart is exploding, but in HD with glitter. Now here's where it gets deeper. Sad bangers aren't just catchy, they're often coping mechanisms. They're how we process emotions in a world that doesn't give us time to slow down a lot. We don't always have space to sit in silence and journal about our feelings, but you know what we do have? A 3-minute track that says everything we're afraid to admit. Over a beat we can run to, work out to, cry in the shower to. It's efficiency, it's emotional multitasking. There's also many predecessors to this specific type of song. We Found Love by Rihanna also comes to mind. A song that sounds deceptively happy, so much so that you might mistake it as a pure celebration of love. But the song's video, a cautionary tale about drugs and abuse, shines a darker light on the song. Loveful by the Cardigans is one of the sweetest songs ever created, at least sonically, but lyrically sees a woman begging for love from someone who seemingly no longer loves her. Hey Ya by Outkast is a genius song for many reasons. It's well performed, well produced, has a hook that sticks like Gorilla Glue. It's so smart it almost feels deceptive. The song talks about fruitless relationships and how people stay in relationships that they know is not beneficial. Y'all don't want to hear me, you just want to dance, Andre says before leading us into that euphoric chorus. Not only is he preaching the entire song, but he's in on the joke and how nobody really cares or is listening to what he's actually saying. And let's be real, the influence on the internet has made this type of duality in songs even more popular. Tumblr, TikTok, SoundCloud, they didn't just spread sad bangers, they shaped them. TikTok literally made it a trend to cry to your favorite songs while looking good, filters on, tears queued up, and suddenly everyone's a main character in a music video nobody asked for. And yet, it's real. That's how a lot of people express now. That's the aesthetic, vulnerability, but curated. Even Olivia Rodrigo, she doesn't explicitly make dance bangers, but a song like Good For You, that's a straight up angry breakup track disguised as a teenage riot anthem. She's mastered the art of making devastation sound like a playlist banger. And I feel like the same sentiment applies to Billie Eilish, who doesn't necessarily make bangers, but her ethos and aesthetics embodies that sad banger duality. Her whole catalog is sadness with a side of swag to it. It's like I'm depressed, but I look amazing in this oversized hoodie, and I'm whisper singing my trauma over a bass line that will rattle your soul. Billie doesn't ask for your pity, she dares you to feel her pain with her, and maybe nod your head a little while you're at it. Sad bangers age well, like these are songs that you'll hear in 10 years and instantly remember exactly where you were when it hit. Because when a sad banger speaks to you, it's not just a track, it becomes a memory. A soundtrack to your mess. You don't just remember the breakup, you remember the exact lyric that got you through it. That's different, that's timeless. And listen, we all love a good hype anthem. We all love a bouncy summer jam. But sad bangers have the special power of feeling like therapy disguised as a bop. How many say, I know you're going through it, but here's a beat that'll carry you? That's the difference. It feels like someone held up a mirror to your pain and said, let's dance away. So yeah, when talking about a genre and style that truly captures the emotional chaos of the current generation, that meets a lot of people where they're at. Tired, sad, overworked, and still kind of fly. Sad bangers are the genre. They are the style. They're not just music, they're therapy sessions, diary entries, and dopamine hits all rolled into one. Here's the real question. Why do sad bangers hit so hard? Is it the contrast, the emotional whiplash? Or is it just that humans are more complex than one mood at a time? Maybe it's a bit of everything. But ultimately that's what a sad banger is. It's everything. It says, yeah, I'm broken, but at least I'm still dancing. And that, my friend, is what we call power.